Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, I'm really excited because we're finally going to be getting into the Supra and building this thing to make over 700 horsepower. In the last video, we got plates for this thing. It's officially street registered, which means we can do the carnet thing and bring the car to Australia so I can put my dad in the passenger seat and we can enjoy the car together and relive some of those kind of old memories that I was talking about in the initial video when we first picked up this car. If you don't know the context of that, please go watch it so that you understand just how special this car build is for me. That aside though, we have a lot of work to get done. I want to get this car finished in the next week and we need to make it make 700 horsepower. There are so many parts that we have for this, including new custom made parts just for this application. But the star of the show is this bad girl right here. A Garrett G4900 bolted up to an R-Tech Compact 2JZ GTE VVTi manifold. Look at the gate positioning right there. But what's super special about this, which is one of those custom parts, is this rear housing looks a little different. This housing is designed so that we can still use the smaller housing types from like the G35 range, but with a G40. So this is gonna give us a lot more response, it gives us a lot more space, and we can do a lot cooler things, but still make it big power and all that type of stuff with the big frame turbo. So anyways, that aside, this thing's heavy, but Supra is gonna be going very soon with 700 horses. This turbo probably has been on here for what, 15 years? Maybe? Oh, it's off. Look at this old kit. Little kind of like turn up pipes that come off the old stock manifold on these for the twins. Love it. It's kind of funny how fast you can pull a car apart, hey? Look at this thing. Hot side's completely off now. Can't be this easy, can it? Let's see now. Line this all up.
Done. The car is done.
Yeah, the turbo's hitting here because the V-band clamp is there. So if I want that to go on, loosen that V-band clamp up so we can slide it around. Now let's see where we're at. I have a feeling. Ooh. G40's kind of a big turbo, it seems. Who would have thought, right? You know what? I think we can get away using the OEM studs. I like that. When that's tight, look at the space between the strut and the compressor housing. To be fair though, we can still loosen the V-band and twist the turbo more that way. Like, this is the best thing about V-bands, is we can reposition stuff. So I might just quickly loosen that a smidge so we can rotate the turbo a bit. This is why I love R-Tech, man. Damn, I didn't realize G40s are this big in a Supra bay. I feel like there's more space somehow in my Comp S15. Like, the strut, I guess, is more this way. It's not so close in here. That's a thing in Skylines too. I feel like S chassis had a little bit more space this way, maybe. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but still though, it could just be manifold design differences. But this is tight. I love it. It looks great. You guys know me, I love Garrett wastegates. And trust me, I try my hardest to use a Garrett wastegate on this car. But with how this manifold is designed, Garrett gate too fat, too big, too thick, which is okay. All right, these things happen. They got a bigger diaphragm design and stuff like that than the competition, so that's just a thing. So we opted for a Turbo Smart Hypergate. That goes in there with probably 3 mil of clearance. So it should be good. So the main point of this is obviously it's a compact turbo manifold kit. It's great for response. It's gonna give us everything that we need out of it. Everything's in a nice compact package all here. We can have our gate pipe either shooting up through the hood, which we're not doing. It can go straight down, or we can merge it into the exhaust. So my goal is to try and fit a 4-inch dump on this. So if we can do a 4-inch dump and then put the wastegate in there and recirculation or whatever you want to call it, then I think this car will be mint. This car is going to Australia and they're really, really strict about blow-off valves, wastegates, screamer pipes, all that type of stuff over there. And as much as I don't think the police can do anything because it would be a carnet, I don't want to, you know, invoke the whole of QPS on my butt. So yeah, we'll try to keep things proper. Also, it's a Supra, and I feel like its next stage, its next build stage, it can have a screamer pipe. Well, let's just say, you know, we could do that. That's pretty baller, no? You crack open the hood and it's just a turbo peeking out.
It's cool that you can go like that.
It is.
Yeah.
So the further we go down, or the closer we get to there. So like, I'd like to have a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a, just a little bit.
Like what?
A little bit of a, you know what I'm saying? A little. I think this is where it's gonna be. Just a little bit of a tip. I think that's cool. What do you reckon, Daiki? No? Yay? Maybe? No? Yeah, it's a little bit too much, isn't it? Like there. How's that? I think that's the money spot. V-bands are sick, man. You can like change where you want them. All right, let me quickly grab a housing because I want to show you guys why this combo is so special and this rear housing, because it's easier to show you with. Here's another G40. This is an 1150 for my comp car. Now the rear housings are the same, but if you have a look at the rear housing, look how much bigger this is. Look at this V-band flange for the manifold, and then look at the V-band flange for the outlet there. What Artec has gone and done is develop their own rear housings that work with the bigger turbine wheel, but give you the smaller profile from the 35s and 30s. Here, if we quickly duck down, I have this. So see the V-band size difference? The best thing about that is we can now put, you know, G40s and stuff on a manifold that doesn't need a new flange welded on it or redesigned or repositioned, and it gives you so much more space. Seriously, the sizing difference is incredible. It's really heavy holding all of this, but I want to finish my sentence. I know previously in the past a lot of turbo manifolds were focused on bigger is better, but I think in recent years people have really understood that sometimes the smaller piping or having like a little bit of a funnel to a V and stuff really creates velocity, which helps get the air out faster and creates more response and a bunch of other little benefits like that. So what I'm expecting is a really responsive G40 setup on a 3-liter 2J. This is gonna be great. But like just same rear housing size here. Just look at the difference. If you just come over here and look at the Artec compared to that. Way different, massive. It's gonna be really cool to see how this performs. You may have noticed we took the old throttle body off. These things are renowned for having issues. They fail internally, and the old Toyota system where they run a cable from the pedal all the way to the sensor on the side of the throttle body for it to just send that signal back through the wiring harness to the ECU, and then the ECU to send it back to this side of the throttle body to then actuate it, just makes no sense. It was definitely in the right direction, and it led to what, you know, future drive-by-wire throttle bodies are today, but we needed something a little more better, if that makes sense. And that's where this guy comes in. And it looks like an insane piece of kit, but that's because it is. This is freaking awesome. You can get some adapters out there for, you know, a Bosch drive-by-wire throttle body. We're using a 74 mil here. This is the same size one that I use on my comp car. Make over 1,000 horsepower with. You don't need an 80 mil. You don't need to go to 100 mil or any of that other kind of crazy throttle body size. 74 is great. That aside, what I'm trying to say is you can get these adapter plates that are only like this thick, and then your throttle body's here, and then you're ending up where your intercooler kit piping ends here, and you have all this space that you need to fill and fabricate. But what this does, this is a beautiful throttle body adapter that you can get from Ichiban Engineering, and this bolts in and puts everything back in the factory location, so your intercooler piping for your expensive intercooler kit will mate straight up, no problem. And I think that's freaking awesome. These guys whipped this up in no time. It wasn't a product they previously sold. I told them what I wanted. They did it all in the CAD software, made it happen. They also, I think you can get different throttle body sizes with them too. But yeah, Ichiban Engineering, we run their covers on our comp car and on the Chaser, and now we're running the throttle body adapter. Really excited to run this, and I need to show you the pedal we're running because that's also something really special. I picked up this special pedal from Outsider Garage. It's already got the Supra logo in there. It's a 350Z or Z33 pedal that is adapted to fit in a Supra. It comes with their little adapter kit and everything that you need to bolt this into the Supra. I love this. I mean, dude, the billet made pedal with the logo, kind of sold it for me. But these guys are awesome. They have a bunch of throttle body like kits and wiring harnesses and stuff on there. If you want to change to electronic throttle body in your car, I highly recommend checking them out. But that's what the setup we're going to be going with on the Supra. And you might be wondering, why is Daiki pulling off the intake manifold right now? And that's because we obviously need to upgrade the fueling for that. And we have a ton of stuff from Dishworks to put that on. And when we get to that point, I'll show you what we got. The last thing you would have seen on the time lapse is Daiki taking the valve covers off. It's very abundantly clear that at some point, no one really did good maintenance on this. The oil sludge is pretty bad, but you can see where once we added the new HKS oil to this thing, the detergents and the oil started doing its job and cleaning it. You can see wherever it was slinging the oil, the sludge is kind of gone. Probably a few more oil changes and this sludge would have gone, but obviously we're changing the cams and this is a good opportunity for us to clean all these caps off and stuff, which we will do. Speaking of cams, I've got something special here. These are the same cams that were in my Comp Car 2 JZ. These are BC272s, both intake and exhaust. These cams performed really, really well, so I decided to use these in the Supra with the G4900 setup. I think it's gonna be perfect and the car is gonna love it. Oh, we also have to do head studs today. I forgot about that until now. But we also have the valve springs, the BC valve springs and the BC titanium retainers for them too. So we're gonna be putting these in the head of the Supra and we should be mint. I'm sure some of you guys are putting on your tinfoil hats at this point because you're like, oh, wait, if Sam's not using those in his head for his comp car engine, then what engine is he using? You'll find out soon enough, but yeah, it's back. Currently doing the head studs. Doing it one at a time. It's the first time I've actually ever done this, where you are not taking the head off or changing the head gasket, and you just go through like the tightening sequence and just take the OEM bolt out, drop an ARP one in there, and then torque it up to spec. It's a weird feeling, but apparently this works, so that's why we're doing it. We got the right bit this time too. The right Toyota OEM bit for taking these bolts out, so we won't have any issues stripping. Touch wood. Oh, hi. Remember when I said that, hopefully nothing bad happens? We seem to just have bad luck with JZs because I have never seen an ARP head stud clean snap like this. We didn't even torque it to 100 foot-pound yet, and it just kept getting looser, and I was like, oh no. And it snapped clean in half. Anyways, luckily it snapped where, well, actually, I mean, this is honestly the luckiest thing ever. But if you can see in here, Daiki, if we can shoot from in here maybe, you can kind of see, I don't know, but there's still a little bit sticking out there. Fortunately, obviously head studs are meant to be just done up hand tight. So I've been able to just tap it with this chisel and a hammer to get it to go around just the slightest bit, and I'm working it out. Just a little bit, a little bit at a time, working it around. And yeah, we'll have this out soon. Might take a while, but all I care about is getting this thing out right now. Oh my gosh. We got it out. Yo, look at this. Look how this thing's hanging onto it. Man, I cannot believe that that stud snapped like that right there. That's crazy, man. I'm so just like dumbfounded by that. These studs were also in my comp car, so that's kind of a little scary. Look at that. That's pretty wild, that brake. I don't understand why it did that. Maybe it was just a bad faulty product, or maybe these got stretched a little bit in my comp car, but we didn't have any issues with the head, so who knows? Usually you can reuse ARP head studs though, so this is a little weird to me, but I do have another box of ARP head studs. Really is kind of frustrating because we have to redo everything, but at least this didn't happen while it was in the car. That's the main thing. Like, this is so weird. I've never had this happen before. It's just so odd because, yeah, I mean, this is the best case scenario though. If this went righty-tighty and the stud was okay, the block's toast, the threads are toast, head's off, gotta drill it out, gotta put a time cert in it. So this is best case scenario, but it's still weird. I never, like every time, why is it only on JZs? Ah! Oh, this is going on my shelf of things that are effed up. That shelf's been growing a lot lately.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Last one. We're done. We're done. I'm stoked. Head studs are done. Head studs are all done. Clean up some of this sludge from cam caps and stuff. We got all the head studs done, and I'm gonna call it quits here. It's like 9:40 pretty much, and if I was to stay here and get everything done, which I could, this would turn into a 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. And I gotta stop myself from getting ahead of myself because tomorrow I wanna spend some time with the family and whatnot. So we're gonna pause here, but just know that in the next video, we're gonna definitely have springs, retainers, and new cams in, this whole thing timed and ready to go. Even if I did do it all today, I couldn't put it back together in time to crank it or anything because I forgot to order my cam seals. So we're definitely gonna do cam seals. We're also going to be doing the front crank seal because why not? While you've got it open, you might as well all do it. So we're gonna do all that. But yeah, after that, then it's fuel system, and bolt the turbo on properly, start working on an exhaust and everything. And honestly, we'll be able to do first start before we even do the exhaust. But next video, I think we'll have first start, definitely. Things are a little hectic here, but in cleaning all the sludge off the cam caps, they came out really, really good actually. I'm really stoked on how nice and new those look. But yeah, definitely got a fair bit of work to get done, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm just really, really, really glad that that snapped head stud came out as easy as it did. It definitely made everything drag out a lot longer than expected, but that could have been so much worse. So we lucked out a lot there. I can't buy a lotto ticket because I just used all my luck on that, I think, for the rest of my life. But anyways, you get what I'm saying, guys. I still haven't showed you the rest of the stuff that's in these boxes that's going on the car, especially how we're going to be running a Link Fury in the car with just this. We're taking all of the spaghetti wiring that you guys saw previously under the floor carpet in that thing, and it's only going to be a Link Fury and that. I'm really excited to run this because the guys at Panic whipped this up crazy quick for me, and it's so simple and awesome, and it just goes from the OEM harness into the Link. Then we got all of our Dishwork stuff in here. I showed you my throttle body stuff. We got our turbo fitting kit there, and I think some other coolers and stuff there as well. But man, this thing's gonna come together very quickly. But with that, make sure you smash that like button, write us a comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section, what was your butt clenching moment where you thought everything was gonna have to come apart and start from scratch, just like my whole head stud incident. I literally thought we were pulling the head off and gonna have to send it off to get skimmed and get a new head gasket and everything, but almost kind of wish we did that in the end. But yeah, anyways, that would have added days and days and days more work to this. But anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.